Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? So, if you were watching the show last night, you were actually around to watch Bitcoin hit a new all-time high. And of course, it kept going after that. So, where is it now? Currently, it's at 121 after hitting 124,000. Yeah, kind of bites, but still, we're there. And I kind of thought that we would hit and not sustain and come back down, right? Because we have too many people that are going to want to take profit. But we can get into that when we get into the numbers. Let's get to the news. So Chinese investors are increasingly targeting Indonesia to send their money to kind of get around the tariffs that are going on. So that's actually a very big deal as you start to look at, well, you know, are we coming to a deal or not, right? Something else that happened, the crypto bull market sees increased institutional participants via US-based ETFs. That's huge. Now, for the first time, what happened? Well, for the past 3 days, I should say. For the past 3 days, Ethereum inflows have outpaced Bitcoin inflows. Now, that's something to pay attention to. Google updated its Play Store policy requiring crypto wallets of centralized exchanges. They clarified. They came back to clarify. So when it first came out, it was wallets that are in Google Play Store had to have whatever compliance, regulatory compliance issues handled, be certified by that country or region or state or whoever municipality. But they came back and clarified and said, no, self-custody wallets or non-custodial wallets are exempt from that because that's you, the person, actually handling the management of your coin. That's actually huge. That's huge. I'm telling you, we haven't had this discussion in a long time, but I'm one of those people that firmly believes in self-custody. So I tend to use 99% of the time a non-custodial wallet because I'm not having that. Just saying. So I'll use a centralized exchange when I think it's easier or cheaper to purchase or sell a coin on that exchange. But when that transaction is done, I'm going back to my non-custodial wallet. It's just how it works. I know I'm running a little bit late, so I'm not as put together as I normally am, but it's okay. It's all right. I'm sure you guys would be okay with it. Now, something else that popped up, China sanctioned WorldCoin. And it's becoming more of a story. And why is that? It's becoming more of a story because China sanctioned iris scanning. WorldCoin requires you to scan your iris so that they know that you're a human. China's like, yeah, nah, you don't need that. Nope. And I know that's going to send shockwaves around the world. Be like, China said no. China is tech forward. And they said no. They're like, you don't need our people's iris stuff. Nah, you don't need a snapshot of that. Because what are you doing after that? Yeah. That's the real security concern. What are you doing after that? It's sort of like, the whole DNA test thing. What are you doing with the data? Right? So when one of those companies goes belly up, what happens to all that data? Nothing good. I'll tell you that. Nothing good. What else do we have? Institutional investors poured $704 million into Ethereum ETFs. That's the number I wanted to give you when I said that Ethereum was outpacing Bitcoin. I'm telling you, people are going to take profit and cause a little bit of a dip. And then it's going to go right back along its way. Both Ethereum and Bitcoin. I think that's what's going to happen. I honestly think that's what's going to happen. You saw a lot of money come into the market. I think we're going to continue to see more money come into the market. I think we're going to be affected by PPI today, right? That could wind up being a thing for us. And we'll see what happens. We will honestly see what happens. Do I think bad PPI data can affect the market? Yes. Do I think we're going to see bad PPI data? Probably not, or not as bad to truly move the market in either direction. And then crypto is going to go along in its business. That's really what I'm seeing, right? Because I don't think, even though these coins are moving up, I don't think that we've seen the true catalyst or the true upward momentum from all these coins. I mean, last night I rattled off what coins are so close to new all-time highs. Overnight, people probably didn't even realize, overnight, GMB chain hit a new all-time high. So I'm just saying, there are things that are going on, things that are afoot that we should probably pay attention to that people are not paying attention to. This is why we do our own research. We know our entries and exits, and we absolutely invest deliberately. We do this on a daily basis. Why? First investment is here. That will help you help your bags in the long run. Just saying, just a thought from the peanut gallery. What else do we have? The stablecoin market grew to $1.5 trillion with USDT and USDC reaching $85 billion and $65 billion respectively. Wow. Fueled by $76 billion in new capital and regulatory frameworks like the Genius Act. Yeah. And I expect it to grow more. What I'm expecting is we're going to see a boon in stablecoin development, right? And then you'll see a consolidation. Because you have a stablecoin and you have a stablecoin, and that stablecoin is not accepted everywhere, and neither is that one, and these are, and yada, 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 yada. And eventually you're going to see a consolidation. I'm telling you, I'm expecting the great consolidation anytime soon. Anytime over the next 3 years, I'm thinking of the great consolidation. That's when you start to cull the herd on all these meme coins, NFTs, unnecessary coins, tokens, all that stuff. You'll start to see the herd get curded. That's it. That's it. And that's kind of what we need, right? We kind of need to get rid of some of this stuff. You know, when people ask me, well, you know, what do you think about this coin? What do you think about that coin? Well, did you do your own research first? Show me that you've done your own research first, and then we can have a conversation. It's not about me giving you the answer. It's about me giving you the tools so you can come up with your own answer. Isn't that a better plan? Because the idea is, you know, I like to fish. So I'll teach you how to fish. Right? That's what I'm going to do. KuCoin and Alloy X collaborated to launch the, RYT token, offering Bitcoin-backed credit lines with Standard Chartered as custodian. Wow. That's not a small move. That's not a small move. They're targeting 10 million users across 20 countries. And then there's a rumor going around, and I picked this up on Coinbase, picked it up on CoinDesk, that Coinbase might have been hacked for 300 grand due to a 0x protocol exploit affecting a corporate wallet, highlighting risks of MEV bots in decentralized finance ecosystems. Yeah, that could be a problem. That could be a massive, massive, massive problem. Fundstrat thinks Ethereum can reach 15,000 by the end of 2026. Wow. That's a crazy number. I'm not even going to play it. That's just a straight up crazy number. I can't, I'm not going to say it can't happen, right? I'm just saying that there is a lot of stuff that has to happen for Ethereum to reach that kind of a number, right? And they're looking at AI adoption and Wall Street interest as being driving factors. AI, because a lot of people are starting to turn to AI for their trading ideas. And I'm just sitting here and I'm just going, Wall Street interest, I can get that. 55% market share in stablecoin-backed DeFi, that's interesting. And with 60% surge in institutional inflows, I get that. But I don't know that that's going to happen in the future. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. Now, I could see more traffic happening because of impending RWA work that happens. I can see that. So can I get to 15,000? Yes, I can see how Ethereum can get to 15,000. It's the time frame that I'm looking at. It's a time frame. So we're still trying out the GMB Y factor. As you know, we have the GMB X factor. We're still trying the GMB Y factor to see where things can go based on certain numbers now, so we can kind of project forward. So we're still playing with those numbers right now, and we'll see how that works out. Excuse me. But 15,000 is not a crazy number. It's the time constraint on it that makes me that gives me pause. But even then, I can kind of see how that could work. I mean, it's not going to happen this year, obviously, but next year that could be a thing. Next year that could be a thing. Ether's price of 4,700 is actually, it's a little over 3x, a little over 3 times that by the end of next year. The reason why I'm shaking my head is because I can honestly see, wow. Yeah, I can actually see the math on how you can get, by the end of next year, I can see how you can get to Ethereum being 15,000. I can see that. I can definitely see that. It's crazy. It's crazy when sometimes you have to ask yourself the wild question. That's a wild statement. So you sit there and you kind of you start to do the math. I'm sorry, I couldn't stop, doing the math in my head. And that could happen. That is a possibility. That is a possibility. Something else that's a possibility. It's a possibility that Tron's founder, Justin Sun, could have all of his crypto holdings released by Bloomberg. He's suing Bloomberg right now to stop them from doing it. And they're like, we have the information. So he's not saying it's false. So that's what's funny. He's not saying the information that they have is false. He's just saying, please don't get it out there. Sue them. And, I don't think he's going to win because I don't think he understands how much money and Bloomberg has. I'm just saying. when it comes down to the end of it, I don't think Mike Bloomberg is worried at all about Mr. Sun. At all. I think he's going to sit there and just giggle. Oh, look at the little boy. He wants to sue us. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. ARK Invest acquired 2.53 million shares of Bullish. Holy moly. Bullish came out at one price, doubled, and they're expecting it to go up another 33% or so today. That's the owner of CoinDesk. Kind of a competitor, kind of not. Kind of a competitor, kind of not. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. China sanctioned Lithuanian banks UAB Urbo Bankas and AB Mano Bankas for, I don't know how to pronounce the name, so I apologize now, for EU crypto sanctions on China. They're kind of hitting back and then so what? I'm pretty sure those banks don't give a damn. I'm just saying, Lithuania, yeah, they're not worried about it at all, not in the slightest. Shib's Lucy is, I don't know if it's he, sorry. Lucy is basically the marketer for Shiba Inu. He predicted a return to $30 billion market cap, citing renewed altcoin interest and a 2021 surge in Google searches for altcoins. I keep trying to tell people, don't sleep on SHIB. I have made so much money on SHIB. I was there when it went from just, nothing coin to meme coin to darling coin to holy moly, they're actually doing stuff. That maturity model is there, and I'm like, I still stand by them. One of the questions I asked the other night actually involved their fast food chain, Wellies. Yep, because they accept Shiba Inu there. Just saying. What else we have? Bifrost and SBI Digital, Bifrost of Japan and SBI Digital launch BTC USD, right? A Bitcoin-backed stablecoin to comply with Japan's FSA regulations. I told you, everybody and their mama is going to come out with a stablecoin. I don't think there's a bank on the planet, a major bank on the planet that's not going to be like, oh, we're going to have our own stablecoin. Really? Again, what are the use cases of those stablecoins? Retail investment, right? Retail investment could be, use case for those stablecoins. Okay, cool. But when I walk into a store, am I going to have 50 million stablecoins? You're going to be like, oh my God, enough. gonna roll it back to the top 2, maybe 3 stable coins: USDT, USDC, and whoever's third. Right? I think right now is a DAI. I don't know. They might be fourth. But I don't have a reason to go beyond USDT and USDC. Between the two of those, I can get and I can buy and sell whatever I want. Why do I need another stable coin? Explain, Lucy. Not that Lucy in general, like Lucille Ball kind of thing. I'm old. You can't say anything. Verb Technology rebranded as Ton Strategy Company, TSC, raising $558 million to hold Ton as its treasury asset, leveraging Telegram's $900 million. I reported that a couple of days ago. I'm still shocked that it's $558 million. I mean, that's huge. And I think they're cutting deals. So I'm dying to see what else they do. Right? So I'm just looking at all the news. I'm looking at all of the maneuverings. I'm looking at all the infrastructure things. I'm looking at all the partnerships that are happening, the kinds of partnerships, what the focus is of those partnerships. I'm looking at all of that, not just the micro news about a given coin. I'm looking at the whole thing, and then I'm looking at those verticals called coins. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the news. We should get into the numbers, rather. Just did the news. Ha 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 ha. Pull that back. Push this. There you go. We're going to start down here. So Dow futures basically unchanged. It's moved by a point. S&P basically unchanged. $2, 2.25 points. NASDAQ, on the downside, 12.25, basically unchanged. Oil up 0.2, 10-year down 0.025. Market's kind of just waiting for PPI. That's where we are. The market is waiting for PPI, and that should be about 8:30. We'll see in a minute. Alibaba, really? Alibaba, Applied Materials, Deere, NetEase, JD.com. That's China. Anybody else that I'm paying attention to? Dillard's, SanDisk, yeah. Bath and Body Works. That'll be interesting. Again, there are certain things that I pay attention to that keep me kind of in the know about retail spending. So we get retail spending numbers as a general number, and then you have these companies that come out with their earnings, and that also tells me, kind of corroborates or says, no, this is reality and that's not, right? So I'm looking at both of those. So today is Thursday. What do we get? Initial jobless claims, producer price index coming at 8:30. Both of those coming at 8:30. Core PPI year over year, core PPI year over year, and Richmond Fed speak. Again, can't stress enough, listen to Fed speak. The Fear and Greed Index is at 75. It was 73 yesterday. DeFi Llama, we're at $168 billion total value locked. Wow. Just wow. That's a lot. And like I said, you see where we are here, and we kind of want to be back up over here. That's $215 billion total value locked. When we reach that number, when TVL hits that new all-time high, right? When it achieves that all-time high, I'll be sitting here and I'll be saying to myself, now the game begins. That's what I'll be saying. That's what I'll be saying. And now I'll be looking at completely different metrics at that point. That's what I'll be looking at. Now, look. Woo! Wow. Wow. So first we nailed it on this one, and now we're nailing it on this one. Wow. That's interesting. And like I said, I don't know if we're going to sustain. So we basically pumped through just a little bit, set a new all-time high, and then came right back down. 125 is hard. 125 is hard. Can we continue going on this trajectory? Maybe. Maybe. I think it can happen. I think a good catalyst. Let me rephrase. I think that there's a catalyst coming in September that can either be good or bad, and that catalyst is whether or not the Fed cuts rates, leaves rates alone, or raises rates. Now, the chances of them raising rates are like, that's not going to happen. But remaining steady or cutting rates, excuse me. Yeah, I can see that. I can see them cutting rates. I can definitely see it. 25 basis points, a modest cut, shut everybody up. Yeah, we cut. So we'll see what happens. But wow, that was a steep turn. We went up steep and we're coming back down at the same angle. Wow. Now, this line right here, will it serve as resistance? Not resistance. Will it serve as, the floor? Possible. We've been kind of right through this one. We've been kind of right. Dipped a little bit over here. Came back. Bounced off again and started going up. Just saying. I pay attention to these moves. I really do pay attention to these moves. I don't think we're in lateral space right now. I think we're in go up or go down mode. I think that's where we are. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep my dry powder on the side, and I'm going to continue to DCA. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Like my man. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Looking at the big board, don't let these reds fool you. These reds are not really all that red. I'm looking at these going up, right? So where's my head at? The usual suspects. Link, Aave, if you're into Doge, sure. Shiba Inu, excuse me, even Pepe, Cardano, most definitely. Look at that, 3 cents off of $1. Cardano's about to spin heads. BNB already spun some heads. Solana spinning heads. But Solana's only up because meme coins are up. Again, that whole sector, if it goes up, that's what's going to move Solana. Solana's not moving based on business. It's not. So we're gonna have to see about that, right? We're definitely gonna have to see about that. But there are a lot of opportunities here. I mean, I'm seeing the same opportunities I've been seeing, so I'm just gonna keep DCAing. That's what I'm looking at. When I look at these numbers, I'm kind of like, wow, look at Ethereum, look at Bitcoin, look at XRP, BNB, Solana, not as much. I don't touch Solana. I told you before, I'm not messing with Solana anymore because it doesn't control itself. It's controlled by outside factors, meaning all the meme coins. Meme coins do bad, Solana's going to do bad. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can make money off of that. I told you before, it was at 168? And I told you, if you're into Solana, you can make some money. And I was correct, was I not? I was correct. And look at that. Over the past 30 days, you're up 26%. I'm sorry. Over the past 30 days, you're up 26%. 26.81. If you chose the right time, you could make money off of Solana. And I said it was going to hit 200 again. I wasn't wrong. I just said I'm out. I don't like how it's moving. I don't like what's moving it. Right? Because the more meme traffic that happens, bots are firing up. I firmly believe that 80% of their traffic is bots. Bouncing money back and forth to get other people to come in with more money. And that's exactly what's happening. I'm good off that. I don't, because on a whim, it can just drop. I'm not feeling that idea. That's why I think the way I think. Let's go take a look at the losers on the GMB crypto tracker. And let's put them in order. There you go. So the loser column, it dips a bit. So who's on this list that I actually care about? Everybody, a lot of people are talking about Zora. I don't know why. It's the social space. It's down 10.63% with a GMB X factor of 0.39. Still not putting my money in it. I have nothing against it. I just don't. It doesn't have a compelling enough idea for me or use case for me to create a slot for it. If you notice, I stick to my slots. Helium is down rather, 9.51%. It's got a GMB X factor of 1910. I don't think it's going to hit it. It's all done. It's all done. Same thing for EOS, all done. Pendle down 7.96%, GMB X factor of 0.41. You can make money off of Pendle, I think. Virtuals Protocol down 7.16, GMB X factor of 2.90. Not sure. I'm holding a small, tiny little bag of that because it was interesting at the beginning, and I'm kind of like, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of at break even right now, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Lido or LDO, I'm expecting it to go up, but right now it's down 6.83%. It's got a GMB X factor of 4.10. Like I said, I'm expecting it to go up. Curve, yeah, it's down 6.41. GMB X factor is crazy at 14.57. I'm not expecting any real movement from that. Uniswap is down 6.30. GMB X factor of 2.94. Yes, I think Uniswap is going to pick up. Let's see. Pudgy Penguins down 5.84% with a GMB X factor of 0.92. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to come up. I know people probably think I'm nuts, but that's okay. Pump.fund is down. This is profit taking 5.14%. GMB X factor 0.79. Again, that's on the back of all those meme coins on Solana. Render is down 5% with a GMB X factor of 2.38. I think eventually Render is going to come back. Right? It's that whole DPINs thing. I think Render is going to wind up coming back. BitTensor down 4.93. I normally stick to my 5% rule, but this GMB X factor of 0.98 makes it interesting to me. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes because we're growing. We're growing. We've grown by over 3,000 new subscribers in the past 28 days. That's all because of you. Please keep it up. Tell your friends about us. Smash the likes. It helps us with the algorithm. And if you can, become a member. Go to growmyBag.tv/sign-up. We're a hair away from launching something that is going to be very special. And comments are going to move over to that platform. Comments are going to move over to that platform. Videos will still be shown everywhere, but the comments will be over there. Everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you enjoy what I'm doing. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. I will fight for that every single day. Everybody have a good one. See you tonight on the Crypto Overflow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye-bye.